This is our Banksia coccinea crop, which going quite well. Seems to be running a bit earlier this year, which is good, because Ariel Fleur is running a bit late. So hopefully we can have put a fair hole in the Longford crop before we switch over to Ariel Fleur to bring us home in September and October. Sort of cutting about 6,000 or 8,000 a week. And per the other video, got the grading machine working quite well. We lost a number of trees here over summer due to a pythium, like a water related fungus, not Phytophthora, thankfully. That's been treated. The dead trees have been taken out. Probably lost 100 odd trees, but even with that, numbers in July for this crop were up significantly on last July. I think we did 40 odd thousand stems last season, and I think we're already at 25 for this year. So John predicted it was going to be a much bigger crop. We pruned this crop very hard back in 2010 in Doomy's time. Just put the chainsaw through it, then put the chipper through it, all the offcuts, and it's all come back very nicely. You can see here, nice stem length, nice and straight, and yeah, still plenty of buds coming for later flowering. I'd estimate about 40% of the crops in that sort of 60 centimetre plus, 60, 70s. The balance is in 40s, 50s, so chewing up 40s, 50s or 40s in some of the bouquets. Trying to get the US going on the 50 centimetre grade. Had a word to the guys about sort of B grades that they're cutting to the ground, whether they've got any application for bouquets. Just got to assess if the cost is worth it, or if it's going to complicate the grading at the shed level. But there's some sort of half decent stems they're cutting to the ground, because they're multis or slightly open, and need to assess if they could be appropriate for going to the bouquets and paying the farm 30 cents a stem instead of sort of 50, 60 on that short grade. Over here, quite a large crop of leucodendron male discolour. Never really got much out of this. Discolour all comes in one hit with the red cone, and if you blink you miss it. Trying to get the guys to start getting into it now. You can see it's got that green cone now. Again, can we use it in bouquets? We've tried a number of different pruning methods on this to try and regenerate it. Either hedge prune, cut it back hard, or just the normal selective prune. The hedge prune wasn't very effective. You can see here it's throwing shoots, but yeah, we'll get nothing off it this year. So that sort of row was done with the hedger, as was that one. John's opinion that pruning sort of the traditional way, you get a much more better comeback. So we've just got to get stuck into this now, and I'd like to be cutting sort of 500 bunches a week. To bang through bouquets, it's just a good bulky filler. It's got a cone on it, so it's adding a bit of colour and value, and that will effectively be the prune, and hopefully it comes back nicer next year. But massive crop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 or 7 rows there. I think Dennis used to do pretty well on that back in the halcyon days of the Japanese market. But he would have been going flat chat when it's on, because it all comes in about a 2-week period. We'll go down to the Blushing Brides whilst we're here. So yeah, we're nearing the tail end of the Brides crop. Again, had a really good July. I think numbers were up 200% on Brides compared to last July. Which is fantastic. That's what the bush looks like post-pick. So the guys are picked to prune now. They don't really have to go back through and clean them up. John just has to keep a real close eye on the Elsinore scab, which which wiped out our crop in 2011, and we had to cut it all back and burn it. So yeah, still some gear here to come. It's been raining overnight, so they've got the flops a little bit. Guys reckon there's about 1,000 bunches left over the next sort of couple of weeks, but we're on the tail end. We've tagged varieties for early flowering and late flowering, and tagged some, highly productive bushes, and we'll use those as mother stock to do another prop. I'd like to put in another 2,000 actually, because we're not sending a stick to Japan. We could be doing 1,000 bunches up there a week, I think, and making money. But just look at the production off those sort of trees there. You're getting 100, 150 stems a plant there, no problem. So that would be tagged for later flowering. Opportunities are, the money's to be had at the start and end of the season, like everything. So we'll take cutting material of that probably when that new growth hardens up in early summer, late spring. Over here's the King Protea patch. This is our sort of main spring flowering patch. And starting to throw lots of buds. This is your October, November, start of December. It really, really flushes. Earlier the better, we can get decent money on them. Spring's pretty hard because there's a mountain of them around. But this crop just keeps giving. So it's we've got this patch and we've got another patch which is more an autumn flowering. But this is by far the best one. Just at the back there, you've got a couple of rows of Baxter Eye.